Good morning, folks. This is Jim Campbell with the Aero-News Network. We're following up today on the grounding last week of Criquet Aviation, a manufacturer of a Fieseler storage replica produced under the LSA criteria established by ASTM a number of years ago, a process that separates it somewhat from normal FAA certification, although the FAA has blessed the ASTM certification process over a number of years. It's the first reported grounding of an LSA manufacturer by the FAA, and in an August 30th memo sent to a whole slew of FAA offices, Terry Allen, AAR 200's acting manager for production and airworthiness, appears to be making good on what appeared to be either a threat or a promise, depending on how you looked at it, issued last year after the FAA toured a number of LSA facilities throughout the nation, in which they indicated they'd be stepping up surveillance and involvement in the LSA industry. Using a prototype LSA audit program, the FAA inspected Criquet Aviation USA just down the road in DeLand, Florida, the manufacturers of the Storch FI-156 LSA. The result of this July 13th audit, one of the first of its kind, was the rescinding of Criquet Aviation's ability to offer products with special flight permits, whether it be SLSA or ELSA airworthiness certificates, and in other words, grounded the operation. The memo stated that, quote, "This memorandum prohibits the issuance of special flight permits, special light sport LSA, and experimental light sport ELSA airworthiness certificates to all Storch FI-156 airplanes manufactured by Criquet Aviation USA, Inc." The notes indicates that the prototype audit results indicated that U-Flight LSA and Criquet Aviation USA were unable to demonstrate that the current manufacturing and reassembly system for aircraft model Storch FI-156 were in compliance with all FAA accepted consensus standards and regulatory requirements. The FAA indicated then that they thought this was a safety of flight issue, and everybody out of the pool. Now, the FAA was contacted by us immediately when we saw this particular memo. We've waited several days to get a response because it was just before the protracted Labor Day holiday. And late yesterday, we received the following response from the FAA's lessor. Quote, "The FAA looked at several manufacturers, including Criquet, because of the findings from the previous LSA manufacturers assessment project. Our assessments have shown some LSA manufacturers are not adhering to the consensus standards and federal regulations. As a result, the FAA is developing an oversight program and has begun to prototype it. Criquet Aviation's aircraft was part of that prototype effort. The aircraft was found not to comply with the FAA accepted consensus standards and therefore was not in a condition for safe operation per the requirements of the FARs. We can't provide details because the particulars are proprietary." Les says there's no war on the LSA business. Quote, "The public and the industry have been briefed for quite some time that an FAA oversight program would be implemented as a result of the findings from the assessment project. We believe the assessment report is very clear on the issues and does not show any heavy-handedness." Of course, the minute that this report came out, people were very concerned that this indicated a new effort by the FAA to, quote, "crack down on LSA," and Les is saying otherwise. Still, a number of issues remain unsolved and unknown, i.e., what did Criquet do or not do to get they got their ability to produce LSA suspended, and what was involved in that process? Who did this audit? Were they really conversant with LSA standards, so forth and so on? Were they being held specifically to the LSA standard or a higher standard? We've asked for a direct dialogue with AAR 200. We're awaiting more info as soon as it becomes available. We've had some preliminary contact with Criquet. We expect to talk to them shortly. So ANN is in the process of awaiting responses from all those parties and hopes to have more of a report for you very shortly. For the moment, no specific need to panic, but, well, we'll see. For the Aero-News Network and Aero-TV, I'm Jim Campbell. Y'all have a good time out there.
Aero-TV is brought to you by
the DFC-90 all-digital attitude-based autopilot delivers significant performance and safety improvements over previous generation systems. Its innovative flight envelope protection guards against autopilot-induced stalls, and the straight and level mode provides one-button recovery from unusual attitudes for an added measure of safety. Immensely popular within the cirrus community, the DFC-90 is now being made available for a growing list of aircraft including Piper Matrix and Mirage, Cessna 182s, and Beech Bonanzas and Barons. Fly with confidence. Fly with DFC-90.